Prestigious president of Eastern Nigeria went all the way to Brazil to import this dance. It was not easy. Ma, was it an easy task, ma? It wasn't an easy task. See, that was why you see the women president actually appreciating the expert. So at this point, let's put our hands together as we welcome the Brazilian brand band all the way from Brazil. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, let's appreciate that once more. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed their performance all the way from Brazil, the Brazilian brass band. He had his early education at Millfield School Street, Somerset, United Kingdom. Thereafter, he attended the University of Wales, where he got a joint honours, BSc Economics, and degree in law and politics. On getting his degree, he returned to Nigeria in 1987 to attend the Nigerian Law School, from whence he was called to the Nigerian Bar in May 1989. He did the compulsory National Youth Service, where he served at the Federal Ministry of Transport, Lagos, at the time under Mrs. Monica Nganafo as an assistant legal advisor from 1988 to 89. On completing his NYSC, he returned to the United Kingdom to do a Master of Law degree specializing in maritime law, University of London, and graduated in 1990. On completing his master's degree in law, he returned to Nigeria and joined the family business and was given the task of collaborating with the Federal Ministry of Mines and Power and the Ajaokuta Steel Company to formulate a strategy for the importation and transportation of coking coal to Nigeria and taking safe up the River Niger barges to Ajaokuta Steel Complex. After the inability of the then government to start the coke ovens as planned, he set up his company, Polmars Limited, which was specialized in marine transportation, logistics, and engineering. His first task was to work with Panalpina in doing all the midstream discharge of imported equipment used for the construction of the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Company, NLNG, as a pressure group by the then Indigenous Shipowners Association to ensure the passage of the Cabotage Act in 2003. He attended the Chief Executive Program of the Lagos Business School and is an alumni of the LBS. He served as Director General CEO of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, from July 2009 to December 2010. Other national assignments include conceptualization of Niger Delta Social Infrastructure, 1993, member of the MASA and NNPC Committee to determine a framework for the workability of Cabotage Act as it relates to local capacity building from 2006 to 2007. Member of the Nigerian Bar Association, the Fellow Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, the fellow Chartered Institute of Transport and Administration of Nigeria. From 2015 to 2016, he was president African Ship Owners Association. 2013 to 2017, executive member Ship Owners Association of Nigeria. 2019, chairman Master Stakeholders Joint Committee on the 5-year plan for the cessation of waivers. 2011 to date, maritime security professional and consultant. 2017 to date, the principal partner, TRK solicitors. Presently, he's the executive chairman of Thomas Group, Lagos. Please let's put our hands together as I invite our second paper presenter, Mr. Temisan Omoshade, and he will be presenting the paper on Nigerian shipping industry and the economic impact of climate change. Please let's appreciate it, please. Let's go and appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. Heat is coming into Lagos right now. You would think that something is happening, but my saving grace in all of this is that it is hotter in here. So we are still very much safe. First of all, I just want to stand on the existing protocol and want to appreciate the presence of Mr. Nigeria, Phyllis. You actually took me by surprise. Sincerely, it's so difficult when a woman calls you up and asks you for something, and I just said yes. And she said the date, and I just said yes. I didn't look at diary, I didn't look at anything. And then along the way, Norma called me from New Central, and she was saying that, oh, she wants me to come to her studio to give an interview. And I was making effort to tell her that I cannot come because she has relocated from VI to IGDB or something, I don't know. And we all know that we retirees that we conserve our petrol. There's no slide, but I don't know how many of us can see there, but I'll just talk through my paper. Eunice, the topic you gave me was quite troublesome. Really, because when you talk about, let me put it this way, when you're trying to talk about climate change, because first of all, initially we talk about a blue economy and potentials for rebuilding and repositioning Nigeria's maritime industry, which my senior sister has given me a well-detailed paper. You know what scares me? And I thank God I did not go and practice law, because I do not have the patience to start writing. Maybe if I had gone to practice the law, I would just be one of those girls bamboozling the judges, because I can talk and bamboozle you. But when it comes to writing, it becomes a challenge. So I give it to those who are able to sit and write that paper, and I must commend you for that wonderful paper. You know, are you in the right place? You know, are you in being advocacy, or whether you should come and join the operational side of things? Because what actually happened with me was that I did make an effort. Let me not lie. Law was not my first choice. I always wanted to be a politician. And my father said, you cannot go out, because my father was a politician. And definitely he did not want me to read politics. So, and you know, in those days, when they send you abroad, you can pick any course you like. And, but then I knew that if he by mistake heard that I picked politics instead of law, my fees can be cut. So I just picked a course, law and politics. So neither of us, at least I scaled through. So, but you gave me this topic saying Nigerian shipping industry and the economic impact of climate change. Wow. Are we really feeling the impact of climate change, apart from the way that it seems as if they've cut a hole in the atmosphere that allows the sun to directly hit on Nigeria? That is one impact. And in Africa here, really, how bad is it? Okay, yes, we do experience the occasional flood that comes out and things like that. But really and truly, we are aware of the glaciers melting, thereby raising the water levels and everything else. So it is those that are in Europe are feeling it, where winters are not as winters and whatever. But with all due respect, You say what you want to say, but I can assure you by the grace of God that what I say should at least have some level of impact on what we are talking about. I will talk about climate change, but I will say what I am passionate about. Now, what is a maritime country? A maritime country, also known as a maritime nation or a coastal country, and relies on the sea for various aspects of its economy and national security. The term maritime is derived from the Latin word maritimus, which means of the sea. The characteristics of a maritime ocean, a maritime country often includes, and please bear with me, coastal geography. A maritime country typically has a substantial length of coastline, bordering an ocean, sea, or large body of waters. This coastline can encompass various types of terrain, such as sandy beaches, cliffs, or rocky shores. You see where I'm going. So when you hear all what I'm talking about, try to align yourself with being in Nigeria. Also, the characteristic of a maritime nation is economic dependence. Maritime countries heavily rely on the sea for economic activities such as fishing, international trade, shipping, maritime commerce, tourism, offshore energy activities. Ports and harbors play a vital role in facilitating these economic interactions. So at least on number one and number two, I think Nigeria falls in that category. Naval power. You know me and Navy, you maybe agree. Maritime nations often possess a strong naval force and invest in maritime defense capabilities to protect their coastal territories, maintain national security, and secure vital sea lanes. They may also engage in naval diplomacy, patrolling territorial waters, and participating in international maritime collaboration. So, 1, 2, 3, so far, we tick boxes. Nigeria is there. Marine resources. Maritime countries often have access to diverse marine resources, including fish, minerals, oil, natural gas, and tidal power, like wind, and exploiting and managing these resources sustainably can contribute significantly to the economy. And then finally, number 5, cultural significance. Coastal regions in maritime countries often have distinct cultural traditions. And we thank God that all of us on the coastal area has made popular our popular stash and banga. And we had better have it today, or else I will charge you for bringing me here and speaking with that stash and banga. Eunice, this is a luncheon. I hope my stash and banga is ready for me. Because remember, Lagos is a coastal state. Nigeria, as a country, is considered as a maritime nation by virtue of her having a coastline of over 850 nautical miles, extending to an exclusive zone of 250 nautical miles, which totals over 9,000 square nautical miles of ocean. Can you imagine? The ocean we control is more than the land mass which we have. Seaports at Badagry, I hear they started construction, they laid down the foundation for Badagry. There's a port coming up at Ondo. The Brutu port, I hear they just raised some money for the port. Snake Island, I hear they're going to put a port in Snake Island. God bless our people. And for the design of, I must commend Nigeria as a country. We have taken the creation of a maritime administration, the MASA, in 2007. That is a major stride because initially, remember, we only had the National Maritime Authority, which was set up for, cargo sharing, long time, 40-40-20. I think all of us will remember that. That because we now decided to form the MASA, we have forgotten the fact that there's a cargo sharing convention which allows 40-40-20, but unfortunately, we don't do it anymore in the international market of container. Sorry, that's not my topic of conversation. So, right now, where I am, I'm going to 6 issues. I say that it is. Okay? If you like, please keep me out. I'm still a small boy, I'm sabi, and I'm not small. You don't play like a small boy. Can you imagine? I was talking, I said, they're still issues. I'm a small boy. Also, another slide which we have is only going to say the Lucheon let us free. Okay? Also, for improved security, that is a stride. That is a step forward. Is it working? Possibly. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, because I've not heard otherwise. And I gave it to him. I met that program when I went to UMASA. I saw it there. And I thank God by His grace we were able to continue it and began to send seafarers to Alexandria, which has so far trained over 2,000 or thereabouts seafarers. Because then we realized, with all due respect, Captain Sir, that our officers were aging. And you can see, if we didn't do that program, we would have been looking at the likes of Captain Enacho to go back on board the ships to begin to manage the vessels again as wonderful chief engineer that he was on board our national shipping market. So we just thank God for people like him. I now ask a question. Maritime is different from shipping. And the question I'll ask you, that it has a shipping industry. Now, all those that think Nigeria has a shipping industry, can you please put your hand up? Do we have a shipping industry in Nigeria? Please, just put your hand up if you believe there's a shipping industry in Nigeria. So I'm happy that we are all on the same page. That there's shipping going on in Nigeria does not mean we have an industry because of the fact that we do not have control about that industry. The shipping industry is not owned by Nigerians. Nigerians are not making money from the shipping industry. Those who are making money are the foreigners. So that there are ships coming in and out and there's shipping going on in our waters does not mean that we have a shipping industry. That is true. To take control of the supply chain of our goods, most especially as it relates to shipping, and I put this in capital letter, must be considered as a national security threat. Being that we are now totally dependent on foreign ship owners to determine the freight rates to be charged and vessels to bring or take goods in and out of Nigeria. The reliance on foreign vessels to carry Nigerian minerals and exports at determined freight rates, which in most cases is higher than market rates, has made Nigerian goods uncompetitive. Prior to the deregulation of subsidy on the petroleum industry market, Nigeria was importing 1.5 million tons of petroleum products every month. That is what we import, 1.5 million tons of PMS we bring in. Under the DSTP program, Nigeria was exporting 450,000 barrels a day of crude. So they were taking 450,000 barrels of crude out, and in exchange for that, they were bringing in PMS into Nigeria. Now, I can tell you, without an iota of being afraid, that 100% of those cargoes were carried by foreign vessels. Not a drop was carried by Nigerian flag vessels. Now, if you can assume 1.5 million tons times freight rates of estimated, let's just say, so help me, what would the freight rate for an MRB? It would be about $20 per ton? $20 per ton? So, $20 per ton, which means on the monthly, it will be slightly more. I say it's more. But let's just say $20 per ton, which means on a monthly basis, $30 million minimum is being taken out of this country by virtue of freight rates for petroleum products being imported. And you can imagine a similar one. So in total, on freight alone, on a monthly basis, on just the DSDP and importation of petroleum products, we're losing in the region of $60 to $100 million a day. And you say to me, how does that concern me? Be rest assured that those costs which we are talking about are included in the price of petrol you put in your car. Am I making any sense here? There is nothing free, even in Freetown. So no matter what you are paying, you are paying. And I'm not talking only of that cargo. I'm not talking about container ships. I'm not talking about bulk carriers. I'm not talking about LNG gas. I'm not talking about offshore supply. I'm only just talking of just one product, which is PLS. That is almost $1.2 billion every year is having to leave our economy. Let me move on. And when the sand comes, there's a major silting of the river. So what has happened is that a river which was that deep before, because of the sand has been washed down from the northern part of River Niger, has risen up to this level. So of course, the depth of your river has drastically increased. So therefore, what happens is that when there's a flood, when there's a heavy rainfall or they open the Lado Dam, there's an overflow which breaks the banks of the river. So what needs to happen very quickly, through NIWA or whoever else, there has to be a maintenance dredging of the river. So as to reduce that effort, and that is not a shipping problem, that's an ecological problem, which has to be sorted out by the likes of the Ministry of Environment to bring the ecological fund to support the dredging of the river. I talked about bunker fuel. Nigeria has failed to take the opportunity of the bunker fuel 0.5% sulfur. Why? Nigerian crude oil is the best crude oil in the world. The sulfur content in Nigerian crude oil is 0.05%. Now, look at what is happening. Let me tell you what is happening. By virtue of the PSDP program, we are shipping our good crude oil to Europe, which are using for themselves. That's what they're doing. Rather, what we should be doing is that even if our refineries are not working, let them produce our crude oil for us and bring it. Now, fisheries. Are you aware that Nigeria has the largest and the best, the Gulf of Guinea, fisheries reserve in the world? But you know what is happening right now? The Chinese, because we do not have control over our waters, the Chinese and the Europeans come in with large vessel factories and sweep all our fish, take it to their country, and then we re-import that fish back into Nigeria. I'm sorry, I have to tell you the truth. So that is the problem we have with fisheries. So, but what pains me is that we suggested to government to set up what they call a Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries, where they said maritime and economy. All well and good. Why? There's nothing agricultural in fisheries. It's supposed to be in the Ministry of the so-called Marine Environment and Blue Economy. So government has to find a way to close it, because do you know that when Nigeria goes to attend, when he's going for that meeting, it is then they now call the people from the fisheries department to come and brief them on what they are going to say when they get to state. Under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, we have what we call the International Seabed Association, which sits in Kingston, Jamaica. Look at how we are in this country. Can you believe that when they were passing the PIA, they put in a section there, section 232 of the PIA, which gives the authority of the Nigerian Offshore Regulatory Commission to remove abandoned whatever. Look, petroleum has nothing to do with the sea. There's a convention of International Seabed Association, which The designated authority is the master. There is SOLAS convention, which the designated authority is the master. So which means everything at the bottom of the sea, everything on the sea, and everything above the sea with the air is under the master. So how do you now go and make a law for which you have tied the international convention on and take that part of the law and give to another organization? Is it that we don't know what we're doing? So the point I'm making quite simply is that we need to begin to take, because the only right any PRC has is to award a license of acreage. When it comes to drilling, that's the master's work. You must take permission. When you want to lay a pipeline on the seabed, whether you are a cable company or telephone company, the right to do that is the master. So, when there's a pollution on the water, the person to protect that pollution is the master. So why are you now breaking your conventions you have signed, you have ratified, you have domesticated, and you now pass another law to counter it? How does that work? And finally, tourism. Eunice, next time we're going to look for a boat. You guys don't appreciate what you have in your country. The moment you break water here, and Captain will tell you, we have one of the best water lines in the world. Even dolphins are there jumping like this, having fun. I need to look for a way to look for money so that I can be doing cruise line from here to Calabar, from Calabar to Equatorial Guinea to Port Harcourt. Maybe we can go to Tema and whatever. It is lovely. It's a 5-day cruise on the sea. Do you know that sea water is very good for your blood pressure? Captain will tell you. Eh? Don't worry, the boys will not touch you. Once you go, we'll make sure it's not. So, we need to improve tourism. I'm very happy that Mario is here. These guys from Jet Ski, although they are in inland waterways, but that is part of tourism. In the Atlantic Ocean, and there are people who enjoy diving. To go and see what is in those wrecks, to look at whatever. We have not explored that. There are people who still do deep sea fishing. Unfortunately, it's the expatriates that do it more than Nigerians. They still go out there for deep sea fishing to catch fish as a leisurely activity. We have not explored that, so we need to explore that. In conclusion, all I can just say for you, ladies and gentlemen, is that the water controls the Nigerian economy. And we must take absolute control of our maritime industry, our shipping industry, so that all of us, if not that, many of us now may not be able to enjoy the benefits of it, because I know that my sister, Ife Akerele, today, if I give her a good business, she might go and start drinking champagne she wasn't drinking before. So I want her to be around. I want her to be around a little bit longer. So I will not allow her to make that kind of money now. What I will do is that I will allow her to give it to her grandchildren. So that
she didn't drink champagne when she was now.
But the economic opportunities in Nigeria is so vast. Look, I don't have to be in this country. I have the opportunity to stay other places. I'm not Japan anywhere. Thank you, God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamashaye. Thank you. You know, these presentations are always very engaging. Very engaging. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, we're going to go to the next item on our program. Start off by calling the first person on our list, which is Dr. Isha Chimu. Well, please, let's put our hands together for her. Thumbs up. Let's put our hands together for her. She is the founder and president of the African Marine Environmental Sustainability Initiative Advocacy, a non-governmental and pan-African organization aimed at achieving clean oceans and sustainable blue economy in Africa. She's a global export advisor and negotiator, capacity builder, green ecosystems, and economy. She's credited to have brought blue economic paradigm as an emerging sustainability area of the federal government. And she wants the federal government to get interested in the blue economy, more interested in the blue economy. And during her 7 years in the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, that was her focus, where she retired as the Director of Marine Environment Management. She's still fondly remembered in MASA for injecting and leading many progressive initiatives and staff capacity enhancement. Madam Blue Economy, as she's popularly called by her fans and associates, is an expert stakeholder to the Federal House of Assembly, state, NDAs, and industries such as the Ministry of Marine and Blue. She is the chair of the expanded Partnership Committee Economy Implementation. She's a member, group of experts, United Nations, regular process on global reporting and assessment of the state of the marine environment, social economic aspects for the third cycle. Can we put our hands together for her as she comes up, please? Engineer Tomina Chinelu Ohagwa holds an engineering degree from the University of Jos, Nigeria, in Electronics and Communications, 1987. Masters in Engineering Management from the University of Port Harcourt, 1994, and a postgraduate diploma in Transport Management from the University of Science and Technology, Port Harcourt, River State, Nigeria, 2010. She's an alumni of Harvard Kennedy University, USA, 2019, on Mastering Public Policy. She joined the employment of the Nigeria Ports Authority in 1989 at the corporate headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria, as a telecommunications engineer. She advanced to head the telecommunications department. In 1992, she was appointed the first female chief port engineer in Rivers Port Complex, Port Harcourt, 2008 to 2013. She heads the Command Control Communication and Intelligence Systems. She headed the Command Control Communication and Intelligence Systems in 2017 and promoted to the position of Assistant General Manager ICT in 2018. She became the first GM ICT in 2021. Today, she's currently serving as the first female GM Tariff and Billing. She's indeed the first of many things. Please let's put our hands together for her. Next is Barrister Gloria Khan. Please let's put our hands together for her as she comes up. Barrister Gloria is a diamond of this area. She's an accomplished consultant and a seasoned maritime practitioner, UK, Denmark, Ivory Coast, and South Africa. She was cluster manager for Lagos, Benin, and Lome, as well as head of legal and claims with VEX. She supervised VEX New Charter, the groundbreaking pioneer shipping and insurance incident in 2007. She also introduced terminal operation liability insurance cover for Lily Pond Container Terminal. In her role, she also served as an interface with major stakeholders such as the Nigerian Customs Service, NAFDAC, and ESTRA. Please let's put our hands together. Also, next on the list is Mr. Charles Bamidele Okada. He's the 27th port manager of the Lagos Port Complex. He joined the services of the Nigerian Ports Authority, NBA, in 1992 as a graduate employee and rose through the ranks to the current role as an Assistant General Manager Operations and Port Manager Lagos Port Complex, Apapa. He's ably represented by Mr. Sylvester Egede, the Traffic Manager for Sports Complex, Apapa. Mr. Sylvester, please can you come on stage? Let's put our hands together for him as he comes up. For Lucheon Akimolani, please can we put our hands together for her as she comes up. Barrister Polu is the managing solicitor of Treason Law Chambers, Nigeria. She is a lawyer, accountant, mediator, and arbitrator. Her work covers both commercial legal matters, also chartered secretary and a business rescue and insolvency practitioner. As a certified arbitrator and mediator, party representative, she has handled cases in finance, construction, and maritime. She's also a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Chartered Arbitrators and member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, United Nigeria. Is a member of the ICC Commission on Arbitration and Events&Parties, representing Nigeria, the African Users Council of the London Court of International Arbitration. She is a member of the panel of neutrals of the LCIA, the Lagos Court of Arbitration, the Lagos Chamber of International Arbitration Center, the Lagos Court Courthouse, Competitive Management Center, amongst others. Lucheon was shortlisted under the prestigious Global Arbitration Review Award for 45 under 45 for Nigeria. Please let's up. She also obtained a prestigious diploma with the African Arbitration Academy 2023, and she was the best overall co-participant for the 2023 cohort. Let's appreciate her. Also on my list is Eugene Itwa. Please let's put our hands together for him as he comes up. Mr. Itwa, please, let's appreciate the men also. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Doctor, please, correction. Dr. Eugene Itwa is the CEO, Natural Eco Capital, accredited trainer for the SDG Impact Standards, National Project Coordinator, Elaboration, Nigeria's term Low Emissions Development Strategy. He co-led the technical team that drafted the Climate Change Bill, now Nigeria's Climate Change Act 2021. Let's appreciate it. We need some microphones, please. Microphones. Norma Obiaswalo is a seasoned and award-winning broadcast journalist. She is currently the anchor producer of Maritime Radio on News Central Television, the fast-rising international news media company, building a media across television, mobile app, and the web, and bringing Africa to the world by telling a true African story from an African perspective using diversity, creativity, and technology. Please let's put our hands together for that. It's important to note that Inyoma is the chairperson of the editorial committee for the 2023 WISTA Business Function.
Give me a legal husband on the brochure. So I want to know the husband. Or you put together your SAN because my husband is going to sue you. Okay, our speakers have sparked up a lot of conversation in the house. I can see we're talking about a lot of in our groups, in our tables. I can see a lot of discussions before this panel. So I want to thank Krishna for putting together this beautiful expert to talk to us on this conversation today. So I'm going to start with Dr. Felicia Monko. You are an expert on blue economy, and the speaker, Dr. Amashe, has sparked up a lot of conversation that we need to have on blue economy. Now we have Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. I want you to talk to us, putting into consideration all the things that have been said, the opportunities and the challenges that we have, the speakers have enumerated to us. Talk to us about what we should be doing now. Then, because of our time, I'm going to put the two questions together. Then you also talk us through the environmental impact of shipping.
Good afternoon, everyone. May I please request to stand as the existing protocol as I thank the speakers, speaker presenters for the beautiful work. But permit me, Madam Moderator, to recognize exceptionally Barrister Chemistry Omashi, because the one that actually sparked my interest in the maritime industry, having picked me from where I was, Ministry of Environment and Environment, and brought me to the maritime sector and did everything to make sure that it helped. And I'm so proud of him that he pushed me this way. He continues to be my cheerleader. Thank you, sir. Yeah, in everything along the it's always good to have this week, because we are talking about the issue of how different countries started their economy. And I remember that it was in 2020 when Nigeria went to Rio Plus 20, and then the Caribbean countries really pushed that we shouldn't continue to be talking about green economy. We should also talk about blue economy. Why? Because climate change was dealing with them, sweeping them away. Some of them never knew land area, and we are talking about green economy. We're talking about the protection of forests, We should also consider them because climate change and other stressors will wipe them away. So that was how the United Nations decided to have in place the blue economy agenda. That's how blue economy came about. So you can see the stress that led to that. And I succinctly exhibited that in this my book, which I'm going to refer to as a point. So then that was how it was. Then seeing an opportunity in 2008 when Dr. Peter Said, then VP of the NASA, asked me to come up with a topic and handle the area of skills and mission. I said, sir, I come up with a topic. He said, yes. I said, partnership, the key to sustainable economy. So from that partnership, and the outcome of that partnership was what we now presented to the Ministry of Transportation, that we should now expand the committee we already have to have expanded committee on the economy. Luckily enough, I know I'm already retired, but I was called back to come and chair it. Sagreal, please tell the ministry that we're very proud of them. And one thing I'm going to say again, things that are important in the economy. It's not just about what you get from the economy. We also talk about administrative, how the administration is set. Like, if you are talking about the economy, you must have an agile organization. Right? An agile organization that is flat, that is believe in training people. And that's what Ministry of Transportation has been doing until we now have this Ministry of Green Economy and Marine and Blue Economy. So we start slowly until we get there. So Mr. President Amasi has actually said everything. And also, but when we are talking about the economy, let's try and get it first, right in the first instance. Otherwise, this is very important that we talk about a risk profile. Risk profile of that environment, the environment category. Putting into account that the African Union described we are not just areas, not just marine, oceans, mangroves, and all of them, but they have a technical as the spaces where we can explore, where we can carry out new businesses. So how are we connecting? How are we taking the risk profile? How does it look like? Mr. Bashe, one thing about it is like the technical fatalities. So if we are joining into the economy, we must take cognizance of all those parts and then deal with them individually and understand. All those opportunities we know we are going to get. Those opportunities are what we should have. Risk profile for each of them, and then that action plan to implement it based on specific sector we are talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this Nigerian on this panel. I think first and foremost, the very wonderful move of the government to establish the Ministry of Blue Economy, which shows that the country is now consciously aware that this is an area that we cannot afford to on S or on tax. Now, in terms of some of the things that has been said already with respect to the blue economy, the policy of the new ministry of blue economy must address the issues of sustainability. Because it's one thing to invest in the resources of the sea, it's another thing for the resources of the sea to still be available at the time when future generations are here. Because for instance, if you explore the coastal waterways for oil drilling in such a way that is environmentally degraded, then it leaves less of the fishing industry for future generations. So one of the major areas that has to be looked at is sustainable development. And I must mention, with respect to the CPFF, I know Mr. Tillison had mentioned that they cannot be used. But I think that if we thinking the use of CPFF, it can be actually used like a sovereign wealth fund. Ship owners should be allowed to use CPFF as security and seek their funding in international markets where we have international financiers who are specialized in funding shipbuilding, ship repairs, and shipping activities. And finally, with respect to the Nigerian blue economy, it's important that we increase the acquisition of ships in this country. Mr. Hussein asked the question, what's the difference between maritime and shipping? You can't have a shipping industry if you don't have ships. It's like having a fishing industry without fish. And so it's important that for Nigeria, whether it is Caribbean status, tax allowances or capital allowances that the government needs to do, Nigerians and those in the maritime industry need to be encouraged, whether financially or otherwise, through government policies or right government policies, to increase our ship ownership. Because as it is, Africa is not waiting for Nigeria. There's already the African International Maritime Strategy, AIMS, Kenya, South Africa, Egypt are all key into it. The African maritime domain is not being dominated by Nigeria, despite the fact that Nigeria is one of the top 5 nations that is the top 5 maritime nations in Africa. So finally, I would just say Nigeria needs to make the right decisions now. We have the opportunity, we have the ministry, and this is the time to make the best use of the
Before I let you go, still hold the mic. You just said something, Nigeria has to make the right decisions. So what do you think? Is it that we don't have a political will, or our leaders are not sensitive to these opportunities that we just have?
So we have, and definitely with the creation of the Ministry of Blue Economy, Nigeria has a political will. And that is a very positive step in pushing the development of the blue economy. So I'm very optimistic that we're going to see increased wealth creation in Nigeria as far as the use of the waterways. And let us also remember that Nigeria has 10 times the size of its coastal lines of the Indian waterways. So there's a lot of potential in just carrying our own goods. I mean, imagine shoes being made about taking to Lagos via waterways, and how much can stay preserving the roads and, of course, reducing this mosquito.
Thank you very much. Please pass the mic to Dr. mentioned a lot of things concerning climate change, and that is your area of expertise. So talk us through briefly the effects of climate change on the maritime industry, and what solutions will you be preferring? I want action points.
Thank you very much. Just to say that in recognition of impact of climate change on the blue economy, a whole lot has been happening. We want to understand that climate change is affecting virtually every sector. There is no person that is left behind today that climate change has not impacted. Whether in the developing world, in every corner of the earth, there is no one person that is left behind that climate change is not impacting. Whether in the developing world or in the developing world. No wonder the world will come together to agree that let's deal with this monster. And in dealing with the monster, it was agreed upon in France, in Paris, that yes, let's have a mechanism for dealing with the issues of climate change. And so you have it. And what is actually leading to all of this? Every technology you use in the maritime industry have before now been dependent on fossil fuel. Granted that you have emerging technology. And so those are part of the things that have led to the challenge we're having. Increasing temperature. Extreme weather events. Interestingly, yes, earlier I talked about storm. Let's take fish for instance. Fish have their natural habitats. When water is warmed up because of rising temperature, the fishes are likely going to looking for a more comfortable environment that they can live. In other words, we have impacted negatively on their natural habitats. That is true. If that we have in our own division of species, we are very diversified. The migration from one habitat to the other. So in other words, it's still also impacting our community. Those who are dependent, yes, ocean economy, ocean resources, they are all impacted. Negative. And what do we need to do? In recognition of the challenges we are facing, we included even before the creation of this ministry that we now have as marine and blue economy. We included the need to deal with a vision for this sector. We have developed what we call the long-term document became part of the synthesis report that was released by UNFCCC in 2022 before COP27. Where does Nigeria want to be in 2050? But how do we get there? We're not developing this strategy. Only on Tuesday here, we validated that strategy, the long-term low emission development strategy in Abuja. Hopefully,
I'm not familiar with the word blue economy. And so while preparing, I decided to talk about it and I can bring it to that level because I have looked around on it and know that the word blue economy is the latest right. Everybody's talking about blue economy. So I want to talk about the benefits of blue economy. I got to know about blue economy as far back as 1998. Matchline where I worked used to have an in-house magazine called Next Post. And it discussed the use of post-strategy of blue economy and climate change and all that. I want to share with the audience who are not familiar with the benefits of the blue economy. My sister, Sam, Buraimoh dwelt on it extensively. But she did it in a hurry because not many people were able to come. And some of us have requested for her paper. But there are three key pillars concerning the blue economy. You have the economy, you have the social equity, and then you have the environment. So there is this link, and there is interface between these three policies. For a country like Nigeria that imports a lot, in my recent research, MSC is the leading shipping company, followed by Benz, where I retired. You will agree with me that we don't have a shipping, we are not a shipping company. We are import country rather. We import, we are consumers like the people describe. And the maritime sector, as a matter of fact, or the shipping sector, is dominated by foreigners. I remember vividly whether they were managing Nigerian shipping, like Nigerian national shipping line. I had the opportunity, my father sent me to that, and I met with Gwadabe when he was the CEO there. And then we had a Nigerian national shipping. I cannot remember any other shipping line thereafter. But I know that most people, I'm actually also referred to UNCTAD code 2020, 2020. I was in Met there. NIMASA was Nigerian, was National Maritime Authority. They were Free Solomon Close during the time of Mr. Kife, if I remember vividly. And NIMASA used to come to our office to work out this 40-40-20 UNCTAD code. So I'm very familiar. And up till date, it's amazing and disappointing that we are still not a shipping. We're only consumers and we're a maritime community. I don't know, and I'm not being pessimistic, but actually I'm participating in owning a shipping company. I'm happy to say
blue economy is a new venture and it will be beneficial.
We also encourages, taking the most desired foreign currency after the country. So we need to do more this time. As a port authority, we are poised to add value to strengthening the Naira by developing, investing in shipbuilding, ship construction and repairs. We are also looking forward to diversifying sources of employment. We have realized that the new trend is not just to engage in core port operations. The new trend now is to look at other sources of revenue outside core port operations, which interestingly attracts more revenue than just core port operations. As a Nigerian Peace Authority, we are looking into acquiring lands for logistic base, going into coastal tourism. We are looking at independent power production, renewable energy like the offshore thermal wind energy. We are looking into these new sources of revenue. And let me say, moderator, that we have also done a lot at the Port Authority to help strengthen the Naira. Being very cognizant of the fact that the importance of balanced trade in helping to strengthen the Naira. We have done a lot, as a matter of fact, to facilitate trade and promote exports, Nigerian export. Before now, we agree that we have a lot of bureaucratic bottlenecks as regarding exports. But in order to cure these problems, to put them an end to it, Nigerian Peace Authority have licensed at first instance 10 export processing terminals, which is a one-stop shop, everything about export. Within these terminals, we have all the document agencies that have to do bureaucratic administration and inspection, quality assurance, the passport legacy, and all that, so that once this product is fully assessed and assured, quality assured, customs processing, it must be straight to an awaiting vessel for export. And we've also done a lot in terms of technology to ensure product efficiency. We have introduced, even in terms of logistics, we have introduced batch operations to digest the cost approach, to digest the access. We have gone into and this new business has led to over 2 billion naira in terms of annual revenue income for the nation. We have also gone into improving the port infrastructure. Trucks are not allowed to just come in and fill. It's a time zone, so just in time arrival to ensure that there is no congestion along the corridor. Also done electronic, agreement to ensure safety of life and safety, which is a convention of we've also sent capital flights in terms of the marketing development. We have converted our training school at Doctor into an international training or training institute, standardization and all that. We have also standardized our emerging services like service operations. We have standardized our branch operations and all that. So much so that we are recognized by the Bureau of Reforms. Thank you very much. We don't have time, so what I just have to add is, although she has spoken about our speaker talk so much about the structure, if we want. Our two speakers talked about the
great job and improve the economy of the TV population. We can provide infrastructure to regenerate the economy in terms of providing the enabling environment for us to have sustainable development in the country. All over the world, countries that have seas are wealthy countries, but ours seems to be different. And for us to have a different narrative is for us to provide an enabling environment for, especially for shipping companies to thrive. What we have are shipping agents, not shipping companies. So we can bring together companies that can make this country grow in terms of people. Because we need to take the cargo. We have the cargo. We have captive cargo. All we need to do is to transport the cargo. So if we come together and say, look, we need to move our cargo to the destination, it's simple.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we don't have time. So much to be said concerning these topics that our speakers did justice to. I want to thank my panelists. You people have been wonderful. Being able to manage your answers within little time. Thank you very much.
Photography session. Can we have the newspaper presenters join the panel, please? Please, can we join the newspaper presenters, please? Can we join the panelists? President, Mr. Nigeria, can you join the panelists? Vice President, Mr. Nigeria. Committee Chair, Planning Committee Chairman, can you join the Thank you. I know, but let's appreciate them, please. Let's just appreciate them. Let's put our hands together for them because they have a very interesting discussion and very informative. Please, let's appreciate them as they go to their seat. Thank you. I know we're eating, but we still need your attention here, please. We're going to the next item on our program, which is the unveiling and the launching of the Wisdom magazine.
See here the decor and all of that, working tirelessly with the president of Wisdom Nigeria and their school members. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. The president, the vice president of WISTA, the president and all ESCO members. All ESCO members, please. WISTA ESCO. Diamond, past president, honorable minister. VVIPs.
Engineer. Yes, sir. Well, Jimoto is here, so we're here to hold him by the back and then he's doing the laundry.
Honorable
Well, we're unveiled to a countdown. Start counting from 3, 2, 1, 0.
Thanks so much for inviting me to this honorable event. It's absolutely great thing you're doing now, especially for the blue economy. We as entrepreneurs always fundamental responsibilities is to find ways to bring capital into our private institutions. As you know, I'm more of a collecting money. I don't know how to give money out. However, it's my sister, and I always like to support her. The Wisdom magazine, a book of knowledge that will transform knowledge to nation. So I would like to launch this with 1 million naira, and also please let's make sure we distribute this to all our institutions, maritime institutions, the schools, and maybe we can send about 100 pieces to the schools so that our young generation can read and get enlightened about the new blue economy this year. Thank you.
President, executive of WISA, distinguished minister here in the room. It gives me great pleasure to participate once again in the launching of the WISA organization. Whereas I participate we have done so many times before. And every time we do it, I just wish we could throw some more parties and I could watch it. It's really a sign of the mutual love that we have. I love WISA and love them. And they make me feel good. So I'm going to do like the chief watcher did. I'm going to launch one of these magazines, and I'm going to pay you $1 million.
The Commander, Lagos, Auto Boat.
Good afternoon. Please allow me to stand on the existing protocol of meetings. Nigerian and African women do actually control quite a lot of their economy. And it's not a surprise that we realize that this is one of the biggest areas of blue economy. It's one of the biggest areas that will be open to Africa. It's not a surprise that we're seeing quite a lot of women in this particular industry, or all the industries therein. Of course, as unaccustomed as I have to make speeches, I will say that I have to stand on the existing promises. And so I also would like to launch with my fellow gentlemen over here and actually say that another 1 million
Thank you so much. Mrs. Agnes Ekane, ABG Emema Co. Limited.
association, an association that is relevant in the industry. I launched this packaging for the sum of 50,000. Aram and Okrenkweku. So I want to take 10 copies for $150. Congratulations to Worcester. I'm actually here visiting to produce, or rather to promote my films. I'm a filmmaker. My debut film, Praise Party, just got released into the cinemas across Nigeria. So we have 3 cinemas in Nigeria that will be showing Praise Party. So I've exhausted all my resources trying to produce my film. You know what I mean. However, I'm excited to support this magazine with 50,000 naira. Thank you. University of Lagos, maritime students of the University of Lagos. Can you stand up for recognition, please? Can we appreciate them? We are mentoring them. Also mentoring the students of Lagos. Come on, for recognition. We appreciate your
yeah, basically we work together. Yeah, in that sense.
University of Lagos, maritime students. My hero, that's what I call her. My sister, and the Wister. Sister Anaka has been with Wister for the past 11 years. She's been committed, dedicated, and very involving and engaged. On behalf of Wister Nigeria Limited, we want to Wister Nigeria, we want to say thank you to you for your support, for always being there, always smiling, for your dressing, for your goods, for working.
A very good program. being with women in maritime. It's been a brilliant session here on how we can harness the opportunities in the blue economy. And good enough, I was part of the panelists, and I looked at it from the angle of climate change and its impact on the blue economy. And I think generally everybody was happy. But then the key question is, how do we harness the opportunities? In Nigeria, we have so much opportunity that this blue economy has thrust upon us. But how can we collectively, as a people, harness the opportunity? That has been the key question. Of course, working together, we will be able to develop the requirements, develop investment, or ensure that we have investment that can assist us to harness the opportunity. We need to develop everyone's ability. We need to create awareness. We need to support the ministry. We need to engage the private sector that has the resources to actually ensure that the needed investments is done. So, it's been a brilliant session. I want to commend the president and the council that engage everyone for this very session. Thank you.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
My name is Dr. Eugene Itwa.
For the younger ones that are coming up, service is it. When you serve, you will be rewarded. Heavens will reward you in the physical here too, just like you're seeing me having double portion here, you will be rewarded. So don't feel bad when you're called to serve. Continue to serve, and God Almighty will bless you all. I also want to say that no matter what happens, I am with Vista, I love Vista, and I will continue to be with Vista. In that God giving me the grace, in the name of Jesus. All Vista, selling hard. Thank you, my president. God bless you. I know they're still doing the eating and the drinking, but this very time is very important. I please wish to seek the indulgence of all our panelists for today to please come on board. Our chairperson, please be there for us to participate. All our
Association, the professional group, and the idea to promote women in businesses, create contacts for them. Due to their activities, we have a lot of women in very high places, not only in the maritime sector, but all over the government in the country. So we appreciate the work that they do, and that is why we're here to support them today. My name is Captain Ian Acho. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to come with the name Vista. So when we spell it, at the end of the day, we hello, are we ready? Yes. Can we spell Vista together? Capital W. I hear you say W. Capital I. Capital S. Capital T. And a capital A. Congratulations.
We Hi everyone, my name is Lucheon. I want to say a very big congratulations to Worcester, Nigeria. It's been a fantastic event. A lot went into the planning, a lot went into the deliberations on how today will go, and it has been an extreme success. We are grateful to God. Well done, Madam President, Diamond Eunice Ezioke, and well done to the ESCO, well done to the planning committee. You have done well. God bless you all. Thank you. Lucheon Akimoladun speaking from Civic Center at the Worcester Business Luncheon.
Good afternoon, I'm Dr. Engineer Sarah Buraimoh. We are Worcester, and Worcester means women in shipping and transportation. As you see us here today, we are all women in the maritime sector. We have come here today to launch our magazine, to showcase women in maritime, to let people know what women are doing in the maritime sector. Thank you so much.
Mrs. Antonia Ohagwa, General Manager Tariff and Billing, Nigerian Ports Authority. I just want to use this opportunity to congratulate Worcester, the President, the ESCO, and every Worcester member. We are so proud of this association. They have brought women in shipping and transportation to a limelight. We are very, very proud. I want to say congratulations, a very successful outing on this 2023 business luncheon. We are proud of you. Thank you for a job well done. Engineer Mrs. Antonia Ohagwa. Antonia Ohagwa, thank you.
It's okay. I'm the current president of Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, WISTA Nigeria. WISTA is an professional association of women in the maritime trading and logistics sector, and it is existing in 59 countries of the world. But WISTA Nigeria, one of the highlights of our association is organizing the annual business luncheon and our magazine launch. So today is the launching of that magazine, and the theme for this year is the potentials of the marine and blue economy, which is the new ministry that was established by the present administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And it was extensively discussed, the potentialities, the benefits and the challenges and the way forward. And we are here to inaugurate, to launch the magazine for WISTA Nigeria. We normally launch our magazine once a year, and that is what we have just done. And I must say that it's very successful. And we appreciate all the people that attended, and the speakers, the panel discussion, they were all very enterprising. They were all very interactive and exciting topics. Thank you very much. Eunice Ezoke, President, WISTA Nigeria.
Vista, go, Vista!
Oloworo.